Hello, everybody, and welcome. I am Tiffany with Voices for Independence, Fitness and Activities, and I am here to share another easy but delicious recipe with you. So this week we've been doing a little bit of traveling, time traveling that is. We have been making dishes through the decades. We started with the 1950s, and every day we gained 10 years, and now we are in the 1990s. And so I'm sharing some popular recipes from that decade, and one of them we're going to make this evening. So in the 1990s, it was hugely popular and kind of a family tradition. I know it was in mine to have pizza on Friday nights. It was a trendy thing to do, whether you made it at home or you ordered out. A lot of the chain pizza restaurants would have special deals for Fridays and things like that. So, but one popular recipe that became immensely popular in the 1990s was the barbecue chicken pizza, and I'm going to share an easy at-home recipe for you this evening. So what you need for this is, if you are super homemaker, you can make your own crust. We are not doing that tonight. We bought a pre-made crust at the grocery store. It is not pre-cooked, but it's just one of the pizza doughs that you can buy ready-made. So we're going to be using that. You'll need some shredded chicken. If you want, you can make your own. I used a trick where you just put some chicken breast in the crock pot in the morning and add some seasonings and a little bit of water or chicken broth, and you can make your own shredded chicken by the afternoon, which I have done. If you don't have that kind of time, obviously bake your chicken, or you can buy a rotisserie chicken from the store as well when you're picking up your other ingredients. You'll also need your favorite barbecue sauce. Our favorite in our house is the Sweet Baby Ray's, so that's what we're using this evening. You'll need a little bit of onion and, of course, some shredded mozzarella cheese, because this is a main ingredient on any great pizza. So to get started, you're obviously going to pre-cook your chicken. If you are doing that method, I am opening my pizza crust here, hopefully successfully. And we are going to spread it out on a lightly greased pizza pan, or you can use a baking stone. I have a stone here available tonight, and I'm using a rectangular pan because that is the shape of pizza crust I bought this evening. So make sure that you spread it out evenly. Make sure you've cleaned your hands well, because we are working directly with our food. Anytime you're working with food, we should wash our hands well before preparing it. But since we're touching it directly, make extra sure we cleaned them. And I am just going to spread our pizza dough out to the four corners of our baking tray. Now, it may take some maneuvering, and this is a great way to get other people in the house involved. It's really fun for the kids to do, and it will save you a step. But if you're doing it by yourself, take your time to make sure you have it evenly spread out. Sorry, folks, for that. Evenly spread out in your pan. And once that is done, you can brush it with a little bit of olive oil if you want, but there's really no need in the barbecue chicken pizza. So once you have that done, we are going to go ahead and start making our pizza. You're going to need about 1/3 of a cup of barbecue sauce in total for this recipe. So I have that right here, and they recommend taking about 1/4 cup of that, leaving a little bit behind to mix in with the chicken. So I'm going to take 1/4 cup and put it right on the crust, and then I'm going to use either my measuring cup that I had, or you can use a spoon, and I am going to spread that around. If you have a pastry brush at home, that is also a wonderful utensil, so you can get that out and you can brush your sauce on as well. So make sure you spread it out, getting all the nooks and crannies of your crust, because you want that delicious sauce in every bite. And depending on the size of your pan, if it's a little bit bigger than regular, which mine is, you might need to add a little bit more sauce. So again, being a pizza, you can kind of play with the ingredients and the measurements. So we're going to add a little bit more barbecue sauce, because I know people are really going to love this pizza. Again, this became popular in the 1990s. Pizza's been really popular for decades, but the barbecue chicken pizza was one that really popped up and became popular in the 1990s. So finish brushing that on. Make sure you give a generous coat to your crust. And then we are gonna go ahead and put our toppings on. So I have about 2 cups of my shredded chicken here, and they say to add a little bit more sauce to your chicken. So I'm just gonna use it right out of the jar and add approximately 3 tablespoons of sauce. And then I'm gonna stir that in. I'm just gonna toss it with my tongs here to coat my shredded chicken and to give it that little extra barbecue taste. Once that is done, you are going to spread it evenly over your crust using your fingers or your tongs, whatever works the best. It might be a little sticky from the barbecue sauce, so do your best to spread it out. And we can always move it around later at the end once we add our other toppings. You might need to grab a fork, which I might need to do to help separate my chicken a little bit. And so I think I'll grab one out as well. It might work best. So I'm gonna grab a fork out of the drawer to spread my chicken around. And then you're gonna need a 1/4 cup of freshly sliced onion. They recommend either green onion or purple onion. So really, whatever your preference is, depends on how strong you want that onion flavor. Onions do have different strengths. They have some are they're sweeter, some are more palatable when they're on a pizza or in a salad. That's why they call for the purple ones. They have a little less bite and are a little less strong. I am going to use my green onion tonight. We had some green onion left over from a different decade. And so we're going to use green onion this evening. So I'm just going to take that and sprinkle the green onion onto the barbecue chicken pizza. So we'll make sure we get it in all the spots so every slice gets a delicious taste. And then lastly, we're going to add, they recommend 2 cups of cheese. Now I know some pizza lovers out there love their extra cheese, so that's at your discretion. You can add your other toppings. The traditional pizza, barbecue chicken pizza, calls for about 2 cups, so we'll add that on. And again, we are just going to sprinkle it on evenly using our hand, or you can use tongs. So I'm going to get some out. And we're going to use about half the bag. This is a 4-cup bag, so we're going to use about half the bag. And now this is going to go in your oven. Again, I know a lot of you probably have made pizza before or heated one up or a frozen pizza, so you should be pretty familiar. But this is going to go in a 425-degree oven for at least 20 minutes. Now, because I'm using a pan and I like a crispy crust, I might leave mine in a little bit longer so it really gets crispy on the bottom. But again, check your pizza according to your oven and how well it heats up, because some may cook faster and some may take a little more time. But that's the gist of it. Again, simple and easy, but a delicious recipe from the 1990s. That wraps up our segment on dishes through the decades, just because personally I feel the last 20 years, nothing's really stuck out to me. So next week, we're going to start a new series and we're going to be eating across America. We're going to start with the very first state and the alphabet and work our way down. And we're going to have a dish from each state that is a signature dish that they're known by. So stay tuned. We have a lot to get through. And I hope you guys have a wonderful evening and enjoy the 90s. Thanks.